Hello and welcome back again. My name is Joel Elliott. I am the Senior Property Manager here at EW Capital Management. And today I wanted to kind of chat with you guys about what happens when your tenant is not paying and kind of that process that you want to go through. Some options for landlords and investors. The first thing when your tenant is not paying is that you want to open up the lines of communications. Be able to show a little bit of empathy, talking to them essentially and see what's going on with them, so to speak, in their life and what's caused the hardship for them not being able to pay. From that standpoint, you may want to potentially offer a payment arrangement, something that both of you guys can put in writing and make a commitment in terms of what's owed, in terms of past due rent, late fees, or anything else that your lease would encompass that they would be charged for not paying their rent. From that standpoint, you can actually record that in the court registry, so that way it's shown that you don't have a dispute about what is owed should you end up at our next step. Which of course, the next step is kind of our inevitable thing. When your tenant is really not cooperating, you guys can't work things out and work out a payment arrangement, then that's when you now have to kind of go into collection mode and send your required 3-day pay or quit letter, which is required by the state of Georgia. That is basically your demand letter, demanding that the tenant either A, pay you rent, or B, surrender possession of the property. If all this fails and you still can't work out a payment arrangement once all of that is done and the tenant receives the letter, then that's when you want to move into the last phase, which is actually filing a dispossessory. Of course, your dispossessory is considered to be a warrant or a lawsuit or a civil action that you're filing against the tenant. Typically that's where you're going to make a demand for rent. You make a demand for the amount that you feel the tenant owes you in past due rent, as well as any late fees, as well as the court costs that you incur for filing that dispossessory. Still, if all this fails, your tenant has the opportunity to be able to answer, but if they don't, feel free to be able to move into the next phase of the process, which is where you'll execute the writ, which is where you have legally regained possession of the property. So just to kind of give you a recap, you always want to start with the open channel of communication. For communication, that is the biggest thing in terms of being able to collect from the tenant. Again, because normally when you file a dispossessory, your collection chances drop by almost 50%. So if you can work out that payment arrangement, that's great. Otherwise, if they are still not cooperative, make sure that you've completed that 3-day pay or quit letter, because that is the most important thing when it's time to file the dispossessory. If you don't do that portion, then your dispossessory warrant is kind of invalid. And of course, that is the last part, which is the final thing, the dispossessory, where you now have a court action that's in place in order to get possession of the property back. So, of course, if you have any questions at any time about the eviction process and what you should do to collect from your tenant, feel free, give us a call anytime that you would like. Thanks so much and have a great day.